So Snerdcast, we're here with it's just me and Cameron.
Yeah.
Easy.
Whoa.
Speaking of Cameron, you should check out his Instagram. Which you want to plug that real quick?
I believe I have it as Apollo Sensei.
And then we'll also have a link in the description.
Apollo Sensei.
Yeah, check out. He has some great art. He has some awesome pictures. You should see his old stencil he just found of the little dinosaur. It's pretty sick.
I have to actually use that in a future project.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
I still have a couple of those stickers too, which is it's crazy. Yeah, I still have like 2 or 3 of those stickers that are on the mail. The mail.
Dude, I actually have like a couple like in a little envelope chilling in the closet, but none of them are the dinosaur ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're all like.
And I still have my the one on my TV. I'll take a picture and I'll put it up right here. But I still have that. Yeah.
You trash the TV, just break off that piece of plastic and then just save that.
I should, huh? Yeah. And also check out the Shnerdcast Instagram. Like I said, haven't been posting a lot. Haven't been posting much recently, but getting back on track. Just a lot of personal stuff with everybody, and all going through our own trials and tribulations, I guess. But like I said, yeah, it's life. So we just gotta. And I want to continue this too. It's not something I don't want to just stop. Yeah, I mean it's just something for fun too. So I don't want it to be like really serious or anything. Because I think when it starts getting too serious is when you stop having fun, right?
That is true, man. Like when your hobby becomes work, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like working for a specific somebody with clothing and skateboarding. That was mega weak.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We both know what's going on with that. So today we'll be pretty much talking about not many games have been coming out lately. There has been a few announcements, but nothing really beyond of what we've kind of talked about before on the show.
Yeah, nothing too big's coming up.
No.
Nothing groundbreaking.
And then E3
for
just
a while, man.
Yeah, E3 came out. And they came out with a few bangers, but we already covered a bunch of that stuff. Was there anything in E3 that you?
No, because I didn't actually get to watch anything. Cause
Nah.
like, when E3 was still going on, that's when I was still hardcore at work.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, so you didn't really have time to just.
No, not at all. I mean, there were a couple of things, and I do have my bias for certain games that have like a bit that's going to have like a really big change.
Yeah.
But whatever, I guess.
Yeah, there's a few games that are coming out, but not till next year and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, not till next year, not till the end of this year will we actually see how they're gonna look. Like the One Punch Man game.
Yeah, dude, that
kinda one. So. I don't know about that.
That one just looks like they're trying to. How come we haven't got a really good anime game in a while?
I mean,
what do you think about that? Because there's really, if you think about it, maybe like one of the older Naruto games.
Okay, I would say that depends, right? Because if you're a fan of Persona. Then, those are absolute bangers. But talking about a good soundtrack.
Are they based off a manga or like an anime?
No,
okay.
So that's what you're talking about. I don't know, dude. That shit might not ever really happen.
The Shonen Jump Force. The only maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ is one, but that's more just like that's not really. That's just like a Marvel's Capcom clone.
Yeah, it's a fighter.
It's not like a really original thing, but it's still a good game. But
it's kind of hard because like how could you make certain animes into a game?
True.
Like I've been watching Hunter for. I actually caught up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's a good series, but it's shonen trash.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's with the Shonen Jump Force. They had a bunch of those, but I guess
those characters. Oh yeah, because then they have like Isoga on there.
Yeah, they have
a clown.
They have a bunch of those crazy characters.
He's a cool character.
I guess a lot of people were saying they're mad because there was no rematch button.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking imperative. You can't have a fighting game and not have it best of 3.
They have rematch to similar.
That's fucking not okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people were irked about that.
Dude, because you get your ass whooped by somebody, you're like, nah,
we
run it back.
Exactly.
And there's no run it back button.
I don't know. That's crazy to think about. There's a fighting game with no rematch button, There was a few games I wanted to bring up. I know you like Fire Emblem, right?
Yeah, that game actually looks fucking beautiful in comparison to the last Fire Emblem games that came out.
Yeah.
This one looks like it's a big change because you have like an overworld dynamic, you know?
Yeah, because I never really played any of the Fire Emblem games, but I remember as long as I've known you, you're always all about, like, you always knew something about Fire Emblem.
Yeah. It's like low key, it's one of those games that hangs under the radar, but it's actual fire, not just Fire Emblem.
No,
fire,
people love it too, especially out here because my sister's husband or fiance, he's all about it. He's about to buy the new one, which comes out in a couple days, July 27th. But by that time this comes out, it'll already be out. So
okay, I mean it's because the reason why like Fire Emblem is so good and underestimated. One, the combat system has always been hard for people to just jump into. Like you have to be a big fan of almost chess like combat. And then like once you get past that dynamic of the gameplay, then you kind of get engulfed because you at least get to see when like if you get in combat with somebody that's like halfway across the map, you move your character over to it. You can kind of preview the combat before you finalize the move.
Gotcha.
So
if this dude,
because if like you throw him out there and you try to engage, you'll know if he's gonna hit that crit because it'll show you like a 98% chance or something.
Yeah.
These older games do, right?
Oh, dude.
It's like that's something that's so cool because if you have the ability to have some sort of foresight, then the combat becomes addictive.
Dude, what's funny is I used to play not Fire Emblem, but those kind of games when I was younger, and I didn't read much when I was younger, so like I always just skip past the dialogue. But with those games, the dialogue is really imperative, and they tell you about like the strengths and weaknesses, and like you were saying, like strategicness of the game, and how you really have to pay attention to which class is which class, and you can't. It's not like any other game where you just I'm gonna bring this strong character to this character, and then I'm gonna automatically win
that shit. Yeah,
exactly. So I fell out of that, but when I got older, more into like my 20s, I got really more into those kind of games, and I was like, wow. And this one looks pretty sick, like you were saying. It was like a really open world game, and I was really you said it reminded you of Persona, like the art style and everything.
Yeah, the art style itself does, and I would want to check like the artist's credits or something.
It's like the same art.
Yeah, kind of. It's like when the text boxes pop up, and like the game itself is in 3D, but the character profile on the text box is like anime style.
Yeah.
Like that's so like Persona, especially the new one that came out like last year, I believe.
That was for the Switch, right?
No, that one was for PlayStation. It never came to the Switch, and like the Switch is getting
that's crazy.
Tell me about it. The Switch is getting a Persona game, but it's nothing like Persona. It's like, hey yo, y'all wanted Dynasty Warriors 2 Persona? Like,
oh man,
that's what this shit is. And you're like, I mean, that's cool, but you could also just port the fucking game over.
True.
I think that'd be tight.
Yeah. I wonder if there is a graphics capability or like a graphics difference thing.
I don't think so.
No.
Like I said, the Switch, I say it all the time, dude.
It's a powerful system.
It's a really good system. The thing is, people just, I guess, underrate or undermine its like graphic capability.
I think it's
good hardware.
The way I see it is, I think it's more of the library for like a quote unquote hardcore gamer.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. Because when you look at it, the library is all shovelware.
Yeah.
It's just like
couch play and which is fun. Which I fucking
subway
love.
play. You fucking might find somebody on the fucking subway.
Right.
Subway station, on the fucking train station.
And
Switch.
It happens. I remember one time, which should be more happening now. Because I remember when I was younger, I went to when I had my PSP. So this is back a long time ago when we were kids. I had the Star Wars game, the Battlefront for Star Wars on the PSP, and somebody else had it there. I don't know who, but we played the match, and I remember just playing them until I left. I had to get on my plane and leave, and that was awesome. I'll never forget that.
I mean, like the early games of like local wireless play.
And that was on a handheld, so that blew my mind. You know what I mean? This is like before you could
long way, dude.
Right, or before you could just look on your phone, like, oh, I'm gonna play this person and pull some random person. Or before you'd have to be like, oh, here's my Yahoo account, or like, here's my, you know what I mean?
Yo, catch me at bigtoes@hotmail.com.
This fool about to be the biggest of the toes, the big toeiest. Oh god, this is gonna be hilarious. Oh god, something later that's gonna be perfect for this. Yeah, so other games that are coming out that I guess we're gonna just skim through is Shenmue 3, which is in August 27th, Gears 5, which is September.
I kind of want to go off on a tangent about Gears. Getting it.
What's up? Okay. Well, I'll just anything about Borderlands that you want to say? No, because Borderlands comes out.
Okay, that game 100% is gonna be
Trash.
Nah, it'll be good.
I heard it might be bad. I think a lot of people. Will was saying people are gonna start boycotting it because I forgot why.
Well, okay, I know why people are gonna boycott it, and
Fortnite buying, right?
no, the developer is it publisher actually the publisher that has a launcher called Epic Games Launcher. Yeah,
That's right.
they actually bought like
That's
exclusive rights to it, and they'll get it an entire year before Steam gets a hold of it, which is kind of weird. It's kind of fucked up, but it hurts the players, but the developers get a lot of money out of it, which is like why they did it, and that is in turn why a lot of people are gonna boycott it. Which, like, to be real, it's like you don't hear a lot of people really talking about it. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big deal that Borderlands disappeared for what, like 15 fucking years, damn near. Like, there hasn't been a Borderlands game
since we were in high school, I think.
Yeah, actually since
like 2010, 2000.
It's been almost an entire console generation.
That's
I don't
right,
remember
360.
Xbox One.
Yeah,
And
they had the remake on 360 or the Xbox One, I think.
And it's a
I'll
remake.
double check that.
And even then, like, now you have Microsoft and Sony coming out like, hey, we're about to release PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Microsoft's like, well,
With the Scarlet.
this is kind of a different build, but it's like dead ass, like, okay, hold on, no, that's a brand new rebuild. Of hardware. It's might as well be a new console. And like now, Borderlands 3 is just now coming out. It's gonna have DLC.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
That's a thing that it could be a good and a bad thing. DLC, it's like
we kind of touched on that earlier when I was setting up some stuff over there.
Yeah, on his computer in the corner.
Right.
So people in the audio who know.
Yeah. So like, that I love Destiny a lot. Like that's my main game. It's always like been there, and it's always sucked me back in. Even when there's a content drought, I go right fucking back to it. So coming from a game that is in a constant online looter shooter, in a way was, I can't even deny that it wasn't inspired by Borderlands. It definitely was. But
I think Halo 2, or like not. Like
well,
Halo.
yeah, but that's because like the original, like Bungie, the original like developers, they were already working on that when fucking ODST of all games. That's when they started developing on Destiny. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, a long time coming. But as long as they kind of like, I don't really know how to put it in words, but as long as they stick to like an actual path and they don't get caught in any type of scandal where
like EA.
That was not just like EA, but like when
that was bad though. Like when
EA
I say toxic DLC, that's toxic.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. Like
dude.
I will admit I do have my problems with Destiny, but what EA did that was.
No,
that
dude,
was
they are terrible fucking people, man.
Yeah,
they are a terrible company. I fucking bought Anthem. I didn't pre-order it, but I fucking bought Anthem, and I feel like I got ripped off. Dude.
Can you elaborate more on that game? Because we talked about it, but none of us bought it.
Oh, so I'm the only one that played it, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, man. That game actually fucking hurts to relive. Like,
you still have it?
I still own it, yeah, so I can download it at any time and go back and play it. But the problem is, and this is the craziest thing, because you've played, Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
Did you play through, like, all of the Mass Effect series?
Besides Andromeda, yeah.
Alright, so then, like, you'll know when I try to describe the thing. So, the whole storyline of Anthem was so fucking incoherent. It didn't make much sense at all. There was like some character development, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kinda there.
Yeah.
But there was all of these events that didn't make any sense. There was weapon scaling that was actually broken, and your weapons didn't change a single thing to your damage output. Like, When you have a rarity system where your gray, common, basic, fucking starter pack ass weapons, when that shit does more damage than the legendaries, which have like a 1% drop.
It was like that though.
Deadass, dude. There's a ton of videos on it too.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking aggravating. And the thing is, like, after you beat the story, which, like, that kind of comes to an apex really quick, and you're like, oh shit, dude, I'm going into the fucking heart of rage now? Okay, I guess we're doing this. After you beat the big boss dude, which it still doesn't make any sense how this guy became, like, a god.
So you beat the game and everything?
Yeah, okay. I beat the game, and I wasted my fucking time.
Oh, dude, that fucking sucks.
So, like, after that, like, mind you, since it's, like, the whole open world thing, and, you know, you can still...
Flying around. And...
Yeah, there's a box, there's a skybox. So,
so you just can't...
Yeah, there isn't pure freedom. That's the lie.
Oh my god, that sucks.
There's no pure freedom.
They made it look like you'd be like Iron Man, just flying around.
Yeah. It No Man's Skied so fucking hard.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. That's a good one. I like that.
No Man's Skied so fucking hard, dude.
Damn, it was like that?
Yeah. Because, like, they gave you this trailer, and then when you get into the game, you can't really do any of it.
Yeah, because I played the demo for just a little bit, and it was pretty cool, but I only had it for, like, 2 hours. Like, not if that, I played as much as I played.
Here's the thing, if you play the demo build, guess what? Besides the story content, you actually got everything that was available in the game, just in the demo.
Okay.
You remember Destiny's demo, how, like, it gave you the one planet, but, like, there was still so much shit you couldn't actually...
You look at the map, and there's the moon, and Mars, and Venus, and all those, like, other places, and...
Destiny's demo did so much fucking better, or it's alpha version.
Yeah, it was
so much better. It's just a bummer, because, like, it had a promise, but it flopped. It's like it was just talking so much shit about how big its dick was, and then it wasn't even a grower.
It wasn't even a grower.
You're like, well, okay, this is whack, dude.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
So, as long as Borderlands sticks to what it's promising, and I've seen some trailers of it, because I know you have this whole like spaceship kind of like outpost thing.
I haven't seen much for Borderlands, honestly. I fell out of it a while ago, but I know what it was like all about it.
It's pretty okay.
But you said you want to go on a tangent about Gears.
This is coming from somebody that like has played Gears 1.
Oh yeah, I played up to the third one, but I never played online, so.
I played a little bit online. Online has its own competitive.
Oh yeah,
which is
those people are.
That's cool, dude. I'm all gun ho for that. That's tight, but not for me, dude. I don't want to play that shit like that.
It's stressful. It's very stressful.
And among other things, a game where like a specific dynamic is just 3-peaking in general.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that bullshit.
3-peaking.
So you know when your character, when it's like in third-person perspective, like you can see your character.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what you mean? Like it's like.
Yeah. So they can hide behind cover, but like rotate the camera so they have like all of that vision, even though their character hasn't moved, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how you would animate that, but you know what I mean. Like it's just kind of fucking whack. I don't fuck with that.
Just like a little extra peek around the corner before anybody can see you. You can see them.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny has some things like that, and to an extent, so does Overwatch even. But who cares? Whatever. It's not a permanent thing, and it's kind of like a cheesy little strategy you can do. What I wanted to vent about was like that's a series that they need to let die.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
I for whatever reason, I don't know much about it, but every time I see stuff about Gears and I look at it, like the comments and the videos, and like there's still a huge community for it, dude.
Well, yeah.
Huge community.
There's always gonna be a huge like fan base for something like that.
Yeah, but it's not like it's maybe Halo, like or let's say
even then Halo can die.
Like The Last of Us, like one of those games like for the PlayStation.
The Last of Us, okay, not playing any of those games. Those are cinematic genius, damn near.
Yeah.
You know, those are beautiful fucking games.
What I'm saying though is like, as long as there's like a
community for it.
Yeah, like Halo's never gonna stop. Honestly, they might.
As long as the combat is good and we get like good arena style combat maps, I'd fuck with it.
I think what people still play Halo for though is and Gears.
Story.
Yeah, story.
That's for sure.
That's the only thing I can think of when it comes to people playing those kind of like. Because when I think of Halo, I think of the story. I don't think of the online or the competitive scene. I just think of the story. I think of Cortana, the Covenant, Brutes, and
yeah, because I'd like to see what the fuck's going on in Halo 6 if that ever.
It's coming
Infinite.
out. It is coming out. Yeah.
Infinite.
You see the trailers for it?
Yeah, I want to know what the fuck's going on because I remember playing Halo 4 or 5 a couple years back. This is back when I was living with you, right? So I remember we went up to GameStop and we just dead ass straight bought it and we're like, all right, let's go. And then we beat it in fucking like 12 hours if that. But like a lot of goofing around. Like I got fucking banned within like a couple hours.
Yeah.
They were like, it was fucking nutty because actually around that time that's when I did start getting into PC gaming.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a computer that was strong enough to do shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I was running off like a $15 processor. You know.
That was around the time when you started to transition around to, like you said, the PC. 'Cause you started playing Street Fighter 5 on PC.
Yeah, that and League of Legends and shit.
Yeah. I remember I'd come over and you guys were like, you want to come over and party? We're like, all right. And then all of a sudden we're all drinking and having fun. And then like halfway through, you guys would all just like end up sitting on the PC. And it'd be like,
because everybody would get drunk and it's trying to play League.
So it'd be like a little apartment, and then like 2 walls would be covered with like 4 PCs. And all of a sudden, halfway through, everybody just goes on their PC. And they're like, all right, he's on the left. And you know, you just click, 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 and you just hear everybody. He's like, all right, he's over there. Okay. Oh, he fucking got me, that fucking schnoob.
Like, yeah, dude, we went fucking mega hard.
But like, as somebody who never really
Some people would
experienced
be
that,
fucking really, oh yeah.
I'd just be sitting there like hella like drunk and vague, like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, look around like, fuck just happened? Am I in the Twilight Zone? No, I'm just kidding. But so getting back to it, they're making the like I said earlier, the remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
That is just, you know what? I'd actually bite my tongue before I say it.
I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it.
There's no reason why you should regret it. So
because I already played it.
Okay, so this is the thing, dude. I was about to say,
master version too.
like, okay, with Gears of War, like constantly pushing that franchise as far as it can go. Like,
Call of Duty is just as bad.
Yeah, but with Gears of War, it's like you're just pushing a story and a narrative, hopefully, right? Like that's what the community's going for. Like I hope they get what they want. Every community deserves that shit.
Exactly.
But with Call of Duty, the one thing I can respect, and that one's not made by Respawn, is it?
Nah.
Because Respawn needs to get back in the fucking game, dude.
The one that made number 4 was
some other development company. Because whatever development company
or something like that, or
Infinity Ward.
Yeah. Infinity Ward.
I mean, the thing is like I low key kind of like it when it comes to first person shooters just in general.
Yeah, Call of Duty is very addictive.
No, it's like the fucking banger to end all bangers, and it always has been for sure.
Yeah.
So like to be able to see what it can do now if they do change some things here and there.
Yeah.
Like I remember playing that as a kid. Do you remember? Yeah, dude, I gotta kick it with him. But I remember playing that shit on the Xbox, fucking 360.
With them?
Yeah, because we old as fuck, because we played on the OG online consoles. So like, I want to see that game evolve evolve into the future, right? Because I remember being a young ass kid playing on a 360. There were certain gun archetypes that were incredibly fucking strong, right?
Which one?
Like the original Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's the one that's getting rebooted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you remember like fucking akimbo shotguns, like those old school musket looking ass.
With little
You just fucking blow a big ass hole in somebody's body with just one shot. I want to see what that would look like now, but rebalanced. Because if they bring it back now in today's community, or I guess gaming community as a whole, because every game now gets like rebalanced every other month.
Yeah.
Right. I'd want to see how that would evolve. Like, would it get to a point where like you can't just use a DE all the fucking time? You can't just fucking clap somebody from a mile away just because you were like accurate.
I always wanted the Golden Desert Eagle so bad.
Golden DE.
Hella bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably will try to balance it out. I think it's trying to bring back old school fans as well as the new kids on the block.
I mean, the new kids on the block don't have any idea what the fuck's going to be given to them because there's a couple of old-time bangers.
I think it's good too, because have you played any of the new Call of Duties like Black Ops or the...
No. I mean, I've seen some of them, and they turn into hero shooters.
It really is all about, like, the online play is all about, like, special moves, and it was really trying to evolve with the multiplayer scene and trying to, instead of being its own thing, which I think is trying to go back to its roots. And
it should.
What I'm hoping is maybe some of the old school developers or not directors are coming back to direct these, because I'm pretty sure
handle the sandbox and make sure it plays right.
Yeah, and like help these new people who are working on it, because you gotta think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 came out when we were like 2005, when we were barely like freshmen, if that, you know what I mean? So the same people.
That was like a sophomore.
Yeah,
when that game really first came out was popping.
We were little kids, so I'm guaranteeing most of the people who worked on Call of Duty 4 don't even work at that place anymore. Like if there's anybody there, I'd be surprised, honestly.
Yeah, either they moved on to like different things and like, hey, I don't want to work in the gaming industry anymore.
Or they're just like got fired or got let go or part of a company. You know what I mean? Just like budget cuts and the way it seems like a lot of those people are always bouncing around from team to team unless you're like Kojima. You know what I mean? Like somebody like that where you're just like the top of the top.
He is the top of the top.
Oh, of course.
And that man, like, thank God he has his own project now.
He has his own thing, Kojima. Yeah, you saw that stuff, how he was. We talked about it on the podcast too. I'm glad you know about it though, because he really was getting.
You don't have to be like a major
like a lemon.
Right? You don't have to be a major fan of like Metal Gear or Kojima to know about that man.
Yeah.
That's how good he is at what he does.
Silent Hill is the way I knew about it. I wanted to ask you about Zelda Link's Awakening that's coming out on the Switch September 20th.
That's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's like the weird thing, because I never expected it, and it's, I guess like the best way to put it is it's like the general direction all games are going into, whether we like it or not. It's weird DLC content here and there.
Yeah.
Which
it's expected now.
Yeah, but like I like the fact that currently like Breath of the Wild itself, just that map, it has not just like replayability, because if you could imagine like playing Ocarina of Time but with the same caliber of freedom that Grand Theft Auto grants you,
that map, that sandbox,
that's what Breath of the Wild is.
Yeah.
For people who haven't played it, right?
I still haven't played it.
It's fucking great. It's just the fact that they're gonna take a whole big ass segment and be like,
maybe it's
this wasn't the real game, and then just put it in there.
I think maybe because I haven't played it yet, or it's just everybody's always like all over it. Is I don't want to play it. You know what I mean? So
it's overplayed.
I didn't get the jump on that hype wave, and now that the hype wave's over and everybody's still on that hype wave, I'm like,
I don't even want to fucking touch it. That's called being a hipster, man.
Look at my short. But yeah, with the Zelda Link's Awakening, that one I was really excited about because that's the one I played on. That was originally on the Game Boy Advance.
We're talking about that. So not like the thing coming out before Breath of the Wild, but the Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You didn't play that for the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy?
No, what I played on like the Game Boy Advanced was Link to the Past.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was super fucking good. But I did actually see that. So like Link's Awakening is gonna be like the whole classic top-down style.
Do you remember how they kind of redid A Link to the Past for the 3DS?
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago. It's gonna be like that with better graphics on the Switch.
Yeah, like that's actually good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a console seller, but like that is kind of the reason why you would want the console.
Like if I did have the console, I'd definitely buy it and play it. Because as a kid, I did play I played it so much. Like, that's like one of the Zelda games I remember like being able to take and play. Besides the Oracle of Time and stuff.
Right. So like, I would recommend if you want to like plays video games and shit. They have this picture of like the brand new Switch coming out, right? But Nintendo Switch, Nintendo cannot switch. If you're gonna buy it, don't spend your money on this fucking.
So let's just talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick then. Let's talk about the because Cameron knows the Switch. Yeah, I've seen it. The new Switch that just came out. That's supposed to be
handheld. Yeah. And the thing is, man, because like if you buy it, well,
this is coming from a Switch owner too, who owns the original Switch, not the new one.
Right. So it's like if you buy it, you know, now you can't really take advantage of the majority of the library that's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said anything while we were recording, but you said like the library itself.
Oh, for the Wii or the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, you said like the library itself is kind of like not hardcore-y or anything.
Yeah, for hardcore gamers.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But to an extent, like there's a lot of stuff out there that has so much utility with its motion control. Yeah. Not just the fact that the Joy-Cons have gyroscopes and like IR sensors, so it can work as like a remote, but the device itself has
the Wii like
like the actual tablet.
Yeah.
The tablet part of the screen on it.
Oh, okay.
That does. So even that has like a dynamic of like some touchscreen or like
kind of like the Wii U, but like way better.
I think anyway. I might be wrong, but the fact of it is like.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know why.
Yeah, like that whole dynamic of like motion control, you can't touch those games now because you wanted something that was purely portable, which both systems are portable. Now this one's just half an inch smaller.
Yeah.
Like, what's the fucking point, you know?
And maybe like a 2-hour better battery life.
If that.
Yeah.
And even then, like the basic battery life on just a regular Switch is actually very substantial. You know, you can go through an 8-hour work day and not actually work, you know, play Switch all day and it not die until you get
Trust
home.
me, I know this is the guy who would send me snaps and I'd see his story and be like,
yo, I'm at work playing Sonic, my guy.
Yeah. And there's nobody in the place, and they're just playing Sonic. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Absolutely. Which I probably can't do that at my next upcoming job, but that's totally fine.
And you got that experience. That's awesome. Nope. I guarantee not very many people, if that.
That's true, actually.
But since we're on the Switch, what about Pokemon? What do you think about that?
All right. So like you and I both. Without getting too passionate about Pokemon, we're fucking OGs, dog. Like, we've been here since Red, Blue, Yellow, kinda, because, like, that was a little bit of a late release for our kids. That shit didn't come out until, like, Gold and Silver.
That's the one I got.
Then Yellow came
version,
out.
The first one I got.
Right. It's like being OGs, dude. Like, this upcoming one seems kind of crazy. It seems a bit overwhelming to an extent.
I'm not a big fan of the
evolution we just saw.
I get it. They have to try to like add something new every few years, but them being fucking gigantic,
but
it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. I remember being a kid and this shit like was something I believed when I was a kid. Remember like actually finding Safari Zone.
Yeah.
Right. I remember I was a kid and I was like playing that game, and this is back when I lived in like apartments, like way before I knew you. Right?
Yeah.
Long fucking time ago. Somebody told me that Safari Zone is where you find giant Pokemon. And I was like, fuck!
And you spent so much time trying to find one of those rumors.
Dude, I didn't understand how to get into Safari Zone as a kid. But like, I would go collect the Elite Four.
Yeah.
And then be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I know. I remember the first time I got my Charizard. No, it was Blastoise to 100. Level 100. And I kept on like trying to level him up.
First of all, without rare candy.
Yeah.
So no game shard. We ain't on that fuck shit.
I just remember first time getting one of my Pokemon to 100, but like, wait, they can't level up anymore? Like, yeah, right. I think it looks pretty cool. I look for a Switch game. It's like one of those things. If I was a little kid and I saw this, I'd be like, hell, fucking yeah. But
yeah,
as an adult,
that's what it really is.
As an adult, I'm just not really feeling it because I don't know that whatever the gigantism, giant.
What is it? It was Dinah something fucking or other. It's
I,
like an overwhelming dynamic. Like, at what point in the game is that gonna be important?
I'd rather have like 10 special Pokemon that are just that big instead of, or maybe like some Pokemon that can grow that big. Like,
I guess imagine like a gigantic Ditto.
Ditto. I'm just kidding.
Fucking like gigantic Dratini is like, wait a second, are you sure that's not just Gyarados? Like, what the fuck? Which one is this guy?
Yeah, like a giant Gyarados would make sense because it's just like a.
Gyarados should naturally be that big though.
Right.
You know.
And like Onix and like all those.
Onix should also naturally be that big.
Just like certain Pokemon that should be able to get that big, but like
yeah,
it'd be like, oh, we've never seen Pokemon that big. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like when you look at it in retrospect, because like really that's what it comes down to now. Like kids have never played the older versions and they never will.
No.
And
they play the remastered versions.
And even then, like, the fuck is going on?
What about Luigi's Mansion?
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Hard pass. Well, I would play it, but that's just because I played Luigi's Mansion. That was like one of the first.
I mean, nowadays
games I really
I'm not like
hella crazy when I was younger. So.
Right. Nowadays I'm not super into like Mario games anymore. And
what about Mario Maker?
I mean, that's fucking tight. It's tight, but like I don't know why there's a Mario Maker 2. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like why?
I think it just added. Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to actually know what it added, but I'm pretty sure it just added new features and
on the platform that was already there and existed.
Somebody made a video. It was like, why would you make after you make Mario Maker? There's really no reason to make any more Mario games, in a sense, because
low key.
You know what I mean?
Well, unless it's on the same scale of like Mario Odyssey.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Then like that's a whole new world.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know? Either way, like as long as it's up to par with like Mario 64, right? Where that wasn't like just a 2D thing and it was a whole 3D thing. Like that, Mario Sunshine, things like that whole dynamic. That's totally good to keep coming up with Mario games for sure. When it comes to like Mario Maker, that's straight up 2D platforming.
Yeah.
Right? Like they can keep doing that forever, you know.
Yeah, you're totally right. I kind of didn't think of that, honestly.
Yeah. No.
So, kind of want to switch it up to the get on track and talk about some anime.
Hell yeah.
So you seen the new One Punch, right?
Okay, I have not been watching it, but that's only because I don't have access to the fucking Hulu right now. So I've been like fucking mooching off of my past coworkers, cause like mind you, we all got really close working on the team that we were on, because there was only 10 of us and we all did the same thing. We all helped each other out. Right?
Yeah.
So someone would be like, "Hey yo, what's the password to the Funimation account?" Like, "Oh wait, I got you." But, like, I don't even fucking own it. I just have the password.
Yeah. Nice.
There's like 10 of us sharing the same Funimation.
It's like community.
Yeah, dude, just community accounts, and like every now and then somebody would like chime in, like, "Okay, but you gotta buy the next one."
Nice, that's hella dope, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, dude. I love those people, but I don't have access to the Hulu account right now. So, cause someone changed the password, or the owner had to change the password.
Probably because I'm getting kicked off.
No, cause somebody fucking logged into it, and he was like, "Wait a second. Okay, who the fuck logged in?" And like none of us live in North, right? So we're like, not me. And he's like, "Well, change the password." What? And I haven't asked him for the new password yet.
You know what probably happened is somebody probably went somewhere and watched Hulu on like a friend's house and then just left it signed in or something.
I mean, maybe that's definitely a possibility, but
that's the only thing I can think of.
There's only one person.
Okay, so there's a culprit.
There's only one person that would do some shit like that. But like, I mean, she knows who she is.
It's not even a. He didn't say they know. He's like she. Bitch.
She knows. I mean, she clowned on me a lot though.
This one camera's like, I already know who it is.
Yeah.
Even if it's not her, it's her.
She's the only one that would like actually go to somebody's house and like put fucking Game of Thrones on, like all things. Like first of all, fuck that stupid show. I'm glad it ended bad.
Dude, I'm glad you're the first person besides. It's been a while since I've heard anybody say
I've never been like too heavy on like cult followings and like hey, watch my favorite anime. Like, I've never been into that. I know it's not an anime, but anyway, too far off topic.
No, that's good. With One Punch though, you haven't seen all of it? Or?
No, I haven't seen all of it, and I need to
Mm.
because One Punch is so good because
So-
it knows what it is and it doesn't try hard to be that.
It's funny because I watched this YouTuber who made a video, and
There's a ton of them.
but what they did was they said why One Punch season 2 is so good, and I was like, what? Like,
Isn't?
yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
so without spoiling it, it has a few narratives, which the original one, the season 1 did too, but it didn't mainly follow Saitama. But it does go into different narratives, so I could see why people would. But if you read the anime or the manga, yeah,
I should actually just read that. Like,
dude, the manga is fucking sick. Dude, I read that shit, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And then when I wanted to watch season 2, it wasn't to see what happens or see what. I just want to see the adaptation. And
yeah, see how it like translates into anime,
They-
like how the animation works out.
there's probably a couple things they could like maybe
Probably could improve on.
just a little bit, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't like cross my arms, you know. I'm like, man,
You're all thinking like, man, that wasn't good at all.
yeah, definitely check it out, man. If anybody hasn't seen it or wants to see it, check it out. If you see it and you just want to know more, do some research on how to see the manga. You can probably just look on YouTube and do it or research it, but be careful. There's a lot of clickbaiters and all that stuff, so just make sure you do good research.
If they're going to read it, I would recommend, I think it's Manga Rock. That's like a perfect website.
Is it manga or manga?
Fucking, hey man, you know what? You got me, dude.
Because I feel like it was manga, and then all of a sudden people just start saying manga.
Yeah, like I was actually just about to say that.
Yeah,
Like, you got me
I
on the
used to say
pronunciation.
manga,
I
and
don't
then
know,
people are like,
maybe.
nah, it's manga.
And you're like,
And then
but
now-
I heard homeboy down the street call it manga. Like,
I think it's what you said earlier, and it's like it's the
it's just the way people say shit, you know.
it's
Pronunciation?
what's that called? The it's getting cooler now, so people like they say it. It's it's more mainstream now, so people
Yeah,
who never
they say
really
shit differently.
yeah. I always say manga.
Manga, fucking tomato.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what the site is. So Manga Rock or Manga Rock. Their website has a ton of stuff. That's actually where I finished reading the whole Gantz series.
Gantz.
Oh, hold on. Now that we're talking about that, let me just fucking go get the book.
Yeah, well, if you like for that website, look up One Punch. I'm not sure if it's on there, but if not, I'm pretty sure you could probably find a forum or somebody knows where to find the whole chapters. And this fool's bringing out his fucking what is that?
Gantz, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Why are they looking like they're wearing motion sensor outfits?
So, mind you, that sticker actually fucking means something. So, like, since we're going off, like, on a tangent, I'll try to, like, find the best page for it. But, actually, the opening page is pretty fucking solid.
So is this an anime or is it just a manga?
It actually was an anime.
It was? Or
Yeah, it
was
was
it
an anime, and it didn't end the way that the manga ended.
Mhm.
And, like, that's kind of, that's the reason why, like, people should probably read One Punch.
Yeah.
Instead of just watch it, because
Yeah.
if you just watch it, it's probably gonna differ a little bit. There's gonna be some scenes
And that's what
that are
happened
there.
to that person who made the video. If you I read the comments, and there's
Yeah.
almost all the comments were like, "You didn't read the manga. Well, this is the story arc is more for this person and not this person." This is like,
Right.
yeah. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not gonna really go into it. But
It's a banger.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say, is there any new animes that you're watching, or any animes that you recommend, or mangas? And I'm glad you brought this out. Yeah.
Clearly, Gantz is one that I will always recommend.
Mm.
But I'd always recommend with a disclaimer. Because
it's pretty inappropriate, and
the
you gotta have
sticker,
a.
dude, explicit content, parental advisory. And it says explicit content again in bold capital letters.
Yeah.
Because it gets really fucking dark, dude. Like this page right here, I actually remember watching this in the series. These two characters, mind you, this little boy is fully fucking naked.
Yeah.
scared for his life, and so is the grandma. Again, this is a grandma and her grandchild that both died and were resurrected in Gantz's room, or which is just called the room, right?
Whoa.
And they both basically were maliciously murdered by fucking bird aliens that like hang out. Bird aliens that like are inside of a fucking robot just designed to look like a person. It's like, look at this motherfucker, dude. It's so not intimidating at all until you see what they look like outside of their fucking like suits. But it's incredibly like horrific and gory, but it also touches on it touches on like very hardcore psychological like properties of basic human
desire.
That's a good word, because basic human desire, and it's fucked up. Because it is also like the truth. Like if you, for example, the way like the series really starts off is the main character, which is just K Corona, right? Just call him K.
Yeah.
Homeboy is like, yo, fuck school. Like he's a fucking teenager. All he wants to do is fucking pop boners, bust nuts, and fucking look at titties. Like everyone wants to do that shit as a kid. Right? That's fucking how we live, dude. So he's like walking home. And as he's like walking home, he stops by a bookshop because he's gonna buy a fucking porno mag. Because like, mind you, this came out at the time where like smartphones didn't really exist and the internet wasn't as popping as it was.
Yeah.
Like 1990s, early 2000s is when it came out. So like that's the area that this kind of existed. Now he's at the train station, and there was this drunk dude out in front of the bookshop just being a drunk bastard. And he's like, "You fucking bum, get a job." And he's just like. Dusts them off, which is crazy because a lot of people still do that to this day.
True.
Because it's human nature to like want to feel superior in some way.
Yeah,
like,
especially at that age, like get the fuck off me.
Right? Like how else would you do that? Like you fucking dust off an old fucking homeless dude and be like, fucking whatever, your life ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the train station, he sees the same drunken bum, right? Like really fucked up, about to fall on the train tracks, and he does. And, you know, everyone at the train station, and this is the thing where it busts into, like, the psychological realm. Because even though K, Corona, can't hear the way all of these people are thinking, it still does the dialogue for all of the people, right? And you have, like, this upper echelon business dude. You got these fucking teenage dropout, borderline prostitutes just chilling on the corner, right? And they're all talking about, like, they're all in their heads thinking, oh, fucking, I want to see this guy get ran over. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Whoa.
Right.
Damn.
Because it's really dark.
Snuff film, kind of, like the dropout.
But it's really dark. But this is where it, like, diverges. Because the actual primal psychological aspect of all humans is, I kind of want to see someone get fucked up. Which is why all that like hood rat fighting videos, they always do so well. Yeah, that's the reason why all that shit does well, because deep down to everyone's core, they like violence. Yeah. And Gantz is a series that touches on that in very vivid depth, which is why it's so good, because everyone has that very bad, malicious core in them.
Yeah.
Whether they'd like to acknowledge it or not, Gantz actually brings it out of you, and it even forces the character to evolve in order to stay alive.
Damn.
It brings that aspect. Like, I know you want to be a good person, but like, hey, unless you want to die here, you need to grab that.
Yeah.
So,
damn,
it's a good series. I would always recommend
story, dude.
I'd recommend it, dude.
Yeah.
You can watch it on Funimation or just read it.
What about you seen Demon Slayer?
No.
That's another one on Hulu that I've been watching. I've only watched like 5 episodes. I haven't gotten too far into it.
Yo, is it subbed or dubbed?
Subbed.
Okay, so you got like the comment section would 100% be fucking broken right here. Because like, personally, I would prefer dub.
I don't mind sub.
I don't mind sub, but here's the thing, man. Like, I don't want to watch subbed. Like, I don't want to read because, like, one, you can't fully enjoy the character design if you're constantly reading. You know, you can get enthralled in the story for sure, but being an artist, like, I want to experience like the atmosphere
Yeah.
with the characters in. Otherwise, it's like, well, fuck, why am I watching this? You know?
Yeah, I can see where people could get like that, where it's like sometimes you might miss something or you just gotta go back for a second. But I really enjoy it, as long as they're not like Goku voices where it's like a grown ass man. He's like screaming like a little
I fucking hate
like
that.
a little
I
13-year-old
hate
girl.
original Goku. I hate his
Yeah.
Japanese voice. So
For
much.
like a little girl voice for a kid, it works, but for a girl,
It does.
like a woman's voice for a grown man, it just doesn't work. So, have you ever seen? You see Ultraman on Netflix yet?
Yeah, I think last time you and I hung out, we talked about it, and I said that shit was fire.
It was
dude.
pretty sick, right? It was
Mhm.
pretty good. There's a few things. There was some animations where they'd fight. So just little nitpicks where they get knocked back, and they'd be sliding, but there'd be no animation, like no effects of them sliding, no dust, no scrapes, no anything. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and it's CGI too. So a lot of people might get turned off by that CGI kind of animation, but I think for this one, what they did, the story wise, it did really good for the for what kind of animation they had.
See, yeah, that's for sure, dude. I liked it a lot, and like I wanted it to like carry on. I was upset that there's only season one.
There's only like 7 episodes or something like that, like 8 episodes.
Yeah, because they're all like an hour long or something, right?
Half hour, like 28 minutes, like 22 minutes.
Oh no, okay, so then they're just like actually standard episodes, but it is really short. And I mean, I liked it a lot. Like, I would continue watching it if there was more.
Yeah, I would like
That's
to
for
see
sure.
it too. I never did you ever know anything about Ultraman? I mean, I've heard of him before,
No,
but I'd
dude,
never known
'cause-
his like backstory.
Yeah, again, like we talked about that because it's like Ultraman was what Power Rangers is, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like Super Sentai.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like it
Episode
was
3, I'll put a little link, people.
big. It was fucking big in Japan, and like it still is. I think it's called like Kamen Rider, not Justice Rider or Moomin Rider from One Punch.
Moomin Rider.
Right. It's I'll try to find it. But
What does he say? Like Justice
Crash.
Yeah, Justice Crash. Which I
Yo, if I ever play that game when it comes out, 100% I would main Moomin Rider. Okay, so it definitely is. Like, Ultraman comes from, like, the same, I guess, entertainment as, like, Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
So there's, like, all these different variations of them, and it's just some dude in, like, a power suit.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh,
going hard.
shit.
Almost like, what was it? Fucking Beetle Morphers or some shit?
I think it was Beetle Morphers, something like that. All that comes from like one person's idea and it just branched from there.
As a kid. Wait, Beetleborg? Beetleborgs, my bad, dude.
Beetleborg.
That shit was too fucking tight as a kid. It's like, yo, I'm trying to get me one of them suits, man. I'm trying to get me a power suit, son.
Power suit, this fool. So yeah, Ultraman, definitely a watch.
I would say must watch, but that shit definitely gets 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Does it?
Yeah, because it's like a 50-50. It's not bad, but it's like, yeah, I would watch it. It's good.
I think it's
not-
good even for as an average viewer, like even for an average viewer. I
Yeah,
think people will like
average
it.
viewer is still pretty fire.
So we'll talk about Comic-Con a little bit this one too. We might bring it up later on in another episode, but for right now, there's so much happening that is really too much to talk about.
I did not pay attention to Comic-Con.
But I did show you a trailer for Jay and Silent Bob. So what do you think about that one? That one
That's
looks
a must watch.
Yeah.
That's a 5 out of 5 stars.
Ah.
Because like you gotta watch that shit. Like I remember watching Jay and Silent Bob as a kid and not like
yeah, same here.
not really knowing like how mature that content was.
Right?
But yeah, dude, you get older and they're like, yo, this fucking guy talking about being the fucking pussy destroyer. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yo, chill out, Jay. That's a bit much, Doug.
Yeah, dude, that one looks. I love how they started off with that dude from Dave Chappelle. They was like, "I'm rich, biatch."
Oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah. They brought back all the stuff from the older movies. They're bringing back from Dogma. You saw the people with from Dogma the hockey mask, and then you got Clerks reference already in the Clerks 2 when he has no dick, and he's like, "No, his dick's just tucked back, you dumbass," or whatever he said.
Yeah, dude, that shit is
100%. How high?
That is
they have Method Man and Redman back on the same
crazy.
Screen.
That is crazy. I mean, so like those two dudes are like they're musicians that like never ever have partied.
Yeah.
They've always been like tight homeboys from day one. But like it's fucking crazy to see them like actually in a movie like
on the same screen.
It's what you would expect.
Yeah. And they had a whole bunch of other stuff out of it. Like all their old movies, they brought a dude that used to be a pro skater, and he was like,
dude, that shit.
He was from My Name Is Earl.
I don't know his name. Was it like Jason Law or some shit?
Jason. Oh, they had the other dude, Justin Long, that played the gay guy from Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Oh.
Yeah, Justin Long. Yeah, so. What was the other one?
Which Jay was actually in that movie too. But he had like a ridiculous ass porn star name.
I think so. Something weird. That's why he's probably in there like defending them.
That was one of the first fucking movies I ever had.
Jason Lee was his name.
Jason Lee. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Like
he used to be sponsored by Blind.
Yeah,
skateboards.
A little side note.
Back in like the 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, since we both grew up.
Look it up. I guarantee you find it.
I never knew that dude was a professional skater until like a long.
My brother told me a long time ago. He was like, "You seen this guy?" And he's like, "He's a professional skateboarder." I was like, "What? No, he's not." And this is when like LimeWire existed, and we saw stuff on that. He's like, "Look it, just download it."
Dude, kids nowadays will never understand what it's like to actually.
I know. All they have to do
is your computer for LimeWire.
All they have to do is just look it up on the Google or YouTube, and just bam, right there.
Fucking shareware, dude. And you all trying to have the same version of malware, dog?
Right.
Like a regular computer.
So I guess to finish this podcast off with Marvel's Phase 4, and I wrote down a few of them. We don't have to talk about
skip everything that's Disney Plus?
Yeah. By the way,
nothing but just bad things to say about all of it.
The Eternals. That's the one where I was like, that one doesn't have a good cast. It has Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek being as like the lead characters when they're supposed to be male.
That's some shit that like. It's definitely a hot button topic in today's society where it's like, oh, a woman could definitely be the lead, and it's like you gotta understand that's not what we're saying.
Exactly.
What we're saying is that's not sticking true to the original text, and it's fucking wrong to do that.
I was like, what if they made Storm, Rogue, Jean Grey, Black Widow?
If they made them all male characters.
Yeah. Even guys would be like, this is stupid. What the fuck?
Like,
they're
wait
not.
A second.
So the fact that it switches, it shouldn't make it okay. In my opinion.
Like iconic roles, and you just flip them just because like society is going in this weird direction.
It's supposed to be politically correct. You know? I totally like that's so.
They're trying to be edgy, dude. It's
they are
fucking weird.
And this might be the downfall. I think it could be. It's either gonna go really great or really well. I don't think it's
hardcore fans are not going to be okay with that because like they read the original source material and they're not going to be okay with it.
The Eternals, dude, I guarantee. And you can look up in our old episodes. We talked about the Eternals in like episode like 4 or 5, which was like in November and December after Infinity War and like Endgame and all this stuff. So we've been talking about this for a while, but a lot of casuals don't know about Eternals, which I don't blame them.
To keep it a buck, dude, I never knew the Eternals existed.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like a lot, and then you're just gonna introduce.
You're gonna introduce them, but as something.
If you're gonna introduce, give me like a good female character. Don't give me don't give me Angelina Jolie, who's like 50 years old. You know what I mean? Like an old female, like a good. She's great. She's a great actress, no doubt. She's played in great female roles like Laura Croft. She was good in the first two. I don't know if they made a third
Yeah.
one. She was good in those.
Okay, those ones, perfect.
Exactly.
100% perfect casting, especially at the time it came out. She was like the best person.
But-
She was almost modeled.
And
The character was almost modeled.
Salma Hayek played Frida, and I know she played a bunch of other.
Frida? We're talking about Power Rangers, right?
No, Frida is from like Frida, like the Mexican artist, like the documentary movie.
Oh,
Yeah. So there,
I know some of her paintings.
she was
famous unibrow.
yeah,
right?
the Mexican unibrow, pretty much.
Yeah.
She like that was perfect for her, and I'm not saying like I'm not too familiar with Salma Hayek's work, so that's going to be the only strong female
Neither
role
am I.
that I know of her. I know she was in Dogma. I know she was in a few other movies. I can't name them off. Sorry, but you can't give me another character that's in her 50s or like close to her 50s as a strong. That's supposed to be a male
Yeah.
role, and then
Yeah.
you give me an old like 50-year-old woman. You're giving me my mom pretty much as a fucking superhero. Like,
Real
I'm-
talk. My mom is a superhero, but
Uh-oh.
like it's just again like it comes down to like source material just not being right.
yeah,
It's the same paradigm as Scarlett Johansson playing
Black Widow.
Makoto Kusanagi
Oh no.
from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah. People
That
hated
wasn't
that.
right. It's the same paradigm because like you're
People
diverging
hated
from
that.
the I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell definitely because that's another like cult classic anime to watch, right? But it's the same paradigm. You can't take a character that does not belong in that universe and like expect to cast this person and be like, yeah, this is a perfect fit because it's not. It's not going to be well received. Period. You know.
Another thing I wanted to bring up was the Thor, since we're talking about like miscast and some stuff like that. Is
Loki, that female Thor thing.
yeah, and
I'm on the fence because I didn't know.
I even told Will
Thor
because
existed.
me and him had arguments, I should say, where I was like, I don't mind a female Thor, like that's cool, but if you give me a female Thor and you give me Natalie Portman who played a human who has no powers or no anything, and she just happened to stumble across Thor's fucking giant cock. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden she's gonna fucking turn that giant cock to a tiny cock and wield his hammer, which is supposed to be destroyed in the main timeline.
That is true.
So
Yeah. Well, isn't that like the thing because Thor didn't? I remember kind of like watching a couple of videos and like the lore on Thor is that he wasn't really a god or anything. He was just a guy that came across the hammer and became Thor. Just like that was like the comic book version of it.
see, there's a bunch of different adaptations.
Okay.
I guess what people would consider the original source material, and I could be wrong, is he's the son of Odin. And Odin visited Earth, and he was, the hammer and all that stuff, and
Right.
the hammer of thunder.
Like
His mom
Star-Lord
wasn't.
was right.
His mom wasn't from. I don't think his mom was like an Earthling, but I don't think she. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I know he was a descendant of Odin. So
Right.
he's somebody who's gonna live for like 10,000 years. You know what I mean? One of those. He's like a demigod, I guess. Yeah. There's so many different backstories in the Thor, female Thor, that had a huge backlash too for the comic fans. So I don't know why they would try to adapt one of the.
Disney.
Yeah, of course it's Disney. They're
And it's
just.
great that you can just say Disney and know exactly what I mean. Just Disney cash grabbing ass.
It is hella true, and they might butcher it, dude. They really
I hope
might
they
butcher
do.
it.
But here's the thing that I'm sure we both can come to terms with, since we're in that new generation where it'll be well received amongst the younger audiences,
Yeah.
and it'll do well there. But they'll come to a point where they realize like the younger audience doesn't have money yet. So they're wasting their fucking time.
Yeah.
It's a quick cash grab because
They're trying to
like,
build the lore of what they
Yeah.
grew up with.
So, yeah.
It's like Stranger Things.
Like
You seen
why?
Stranger Things? The new one?
No, I haven't. I know a new season just like busted out of the blue. But
It's
I
like that
haven't
where they
watched
try to just like bunch of 80s reference and you just add scary monsters and there
Wow.
you go. You have a perfect recipe. You're in nostalgia
Yeah.
with monsters.
Man.
That's literally what it feels like. The first that's pretty much what I was going with that.
And people that have like weird kid fantasies too. That's probably the reason
that's
why
me
I
when
don't
I was
like
in the
it.
80s.
Right. That's probably why I don't like that show. I know a lot of people are really into it, but I'm not super into like, hey, I'm a 12-year-old fucking middle school kid, and
Yeah.
I gotta go to the Shadow Realm to help my buddy.
It's funny.
Like, this isn't
That's-
fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, dude.
That's
You
what
know?
I tell Will and Josh about the new Spider-Man. I'm like, all right, we've had
Oh, you
like
mean Miles Morales Spider-Man?
no, Miles
Okay.
Morales was dope because that was animated, but the
That shit was
Tom
tight.
Holland's
Oh.
his Spider-Man, because I was like, okay, we had
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and now this guy. They've all been in high school. I don't want the high school story anymore. I get it, Tom Holland's is a young, handsome, great actor,
Same, actually.
but I want a mature Spider-Man, and that's why I like Spideyverse, because it had the mature Spider-Man already,
It did.
and this
It
is
had
this
that
is the-
fucking I'm gonna eat 7 burgers a day Spider-Man.
Exactly right. It's like, oh, this place got shut down. Like, you look at his fingers and shit. This place is awesome. My universe, this place got shut down.
Dude, that's my favorite version of
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
exactly. He's that. We did a review on that. I'll put a link up. But yeah, that Spideyverse. It's what we call it, the Spideyverse.
Spideyverse is fucking tight.
Hell yes, dude. I love that movie. That's my Spider-Man for this generation of Spider-Man. Spider-Men, Spider Kids, Spider
I mean,
Guys. I don't know.
That's the thing, dude. Like the Spideyverse were like really open it up, and I remember like being a kid, the Spideyverse was also a thing, and there like the animated series, right?
Yes.
It even had something like that.
There was like
where-
5 different.
Yeah, there was even like a fucking mechanical like cyber Spider-Man,
Mhm.
and I was like, yo, he's the
like a
fucking
Doc Ock Spidey.
coolest one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
there was a
Iron
bunch of
Man,
them.
Spider-Man.
I remember my cousin, for whatever reason, my cousin always knew about, probably because he was a little older, but he always knew about like everything ahead of Spider-Man, Dragon Ball Z, all that cool anime and like the cartoons and shit. So I was always, whenever I went like Star Wars, like he always had like models of like Star Wars and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. I was like, I want that stuff so bad. Like, but
We've all had cousins like that. Dude.
yeah. Kind of figure out where I was going with that, but.
We were just hating on like the Disney side of what Marvel's going into, and we could fucking hate on that for another half an hour easy.
You know what?
There's
We'll
nothing
we'll
good
save
to
this
say.
we'll save this segment for another time. Hopefully we can drag Will out here. I don't want to
Yeah, I
say
hope
drag.
so.
We'll get him out here, but
I'll say
if not, we'll definitely talk about it next time because I'm sure there'll be more content for
Yeah.
more ammo.
definitely.
So we'll end it here, but I want a couple things I wanted you to answer.
Oh,
And,
dude, this is the question segment.
Yep, it's
Yeet.
called Would You Rather's, and I wrote down a couple of them, and I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer this in the reverse because you were just talking about your your fucking toes and all. So I'm gonna reverse it because I already know if it was swapped, you would. So would you rather have giant fingers or little baby toes?
Oof.
Oof.
That's
Oof.
okay. All right. If my fingers are giant, are we talking about like fat giant fingers?
So let's say like Jimmy Dean or like Jimmy Dean sausage fingers.
Oh fuck that, dude! Sign me up for the baby toes.
Baby toes.
Like even if my balance is impaired, sign me up for the baby toes, dude. If I
Baby
can't
toes.
draw and paint with like,
Oh yeah, I
paint with
forgot.
sausage
There
fingers,
you
bro.
go.
Like I'm gonna pick my shit up and just drop it. Like
So if it was swapped, if you had tiny fingers with giant toes, what would you choose?
definitely tiny toes. Sign me up for tiny toes.
No, I was
Anything.
saying if it was swapped.
But
If you had tiny fingers or giant toes.
fucking giant. Oh shit. If it was okay, if it was swapped though. Okay, if my fingers are tiny, how tiny are we talking? Like, could I still like? Do I have like baby hands?
Okay, they're bigger than the baby toes, but they're not bigger than.
Because if everything's like fucking pinky size, dude.
So that little pan over there,
Yeah.
which is probably like a little like I don't know,
That's for eggs, dude.
like a 3-inch pan, like
Yeah.
it's like a 1 egg pan.
Yeah.
that is full size for you, for your fingers.
Fuck.
Fuck.
I would honestly take anything that would keep my hands relative usable size. So like maybe just sign me up for anything that disforms my feet. Like that's.
I agree with you too. I would probably go with the bigger toes or
Just
the
like I
regular
would
hand
fucking
size.
deal with that and just buy like really awkward ass shoes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
either I'm buying size 24 or 6. You know, like,
Pretty much. My toes are bigger than my fucking feet.
Like-
Alright, so would you rather have Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin as a dad?
That's a tough. I
Homer
would go.
Simpson or Peter Griffin.
Okay, so I would personally go with like Peter Griffin, because like Homer can't take a joke, right? He's like,
you know,
"Yo."
joking like you, damn it, boy.
I'm like, yo, wait a second, hold up, dude, I was just kidding. But like, whereas Peter Griffin would probably just like fire back with some other equally good joke, you know? And plus, like, he's always smoking that pack on some dumb shit, like buying a fucking giraffe. Like, how lit would that be as a kid? Just be like, yeah, you know, my dad bought a fucking giraffe.
Well,
And you're
I'm
like
not
in
saying
grade
you're,
school and
you're,
shit, yeah.
I'm not saying you're gonna be Chris, but you would live in that house, so you would have the evil monkey.
Oh, shit.
Evil monkey.
I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, in comparison, like, okay, Simpsons did have like the daughter character, Lisa,
Yeah.
like just being really smart, and then the daughter character in Family Guy just get picked on all the time, right?
Shut up, Meg.
In comparison, like I'd still probably fuck heavy with the Family Guy like universe, like just because like at least there's no signs of like abuse, you know.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, and my dad's not gonna beat my ass today. Like,
You're not getting choked out.
I ain't trying to get fucking dumpstered today.
Alright, last one. Would you rather be an NPC
Oh, fuck.
in the GTA or Red Dead Redemption world? GTA and Red Dead Redemption.
That's almost an easy one. I would go with being an NPC in GTA. Because if you're an NPC in like the Red Dead Redemption universe, right? Like, mind you, this is fucking cowboy era, right? So like, you can't really just wash your ass, and you might die of like sepsis or some fucking crazy shit.
Oh shit, that is true.
Best thing
Well,
you
not
got for
only
gambling is just fucking, hey yo, I'm gonna take a knife to my fingers, and if I hit him, then I hit him, you know?
You could also go to sleep and wake up getting eaten by a bear, cougar, coyote.
That too.
Wolves.
Fuck that shit.
That
At least in
too,
like
fuck
the
that.
GTA world, like.
But in GTA, you could just be walking by and then all of a sudden you just like turn around and just get blown by a fucking rocket.
But like, if you get dumpstered in the GTA universe, like
You
their
just get
medical
recycled.
Bingo. Their medical science is so good. You just come back and fucking.
If you're listening this far out, the link's right here. Check out our playthrough of our fuck around with GTA graphics or GTA physics, I should say.
Ragdoll.
Play this for your
dude.
physics class and you'll get an A.
Absolutely. The teacher will pass you 100%.
Oh man. All right, Shnerdcast, Cam Easy. Don't forget to check out his Instagram in the description.
Sensei _ mind you.
Also, check out our channel for our gameplay for Streets of Rage and, like I said, some GTA, and we got some other games we're playing on there too. And I'm gonna try to start uploading stuff with some Hollow Knight, so check that out also.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Got anything else you want to say, buddy?
No, that's about it for now, dude.
All right.
Good roll.
You guys all have a good one and enjoy the rest of your day or week or weekend, whatever it is.
Whatever it is to you. Peace.
Nerd.